Hello and welcome to the on-air channel. I am your social space curator, Ellie Jńe, and I am here with a party favor idea. I'm really excited about this idea or this project simply because it's a 12 by 12 sheet of paper solution. Yes, very minimal waste, but you get the most out of every single sheet that you use, and you do not have to have a lot of recycled paper left over. So let's go ahead and get into what you're looking at, and then we're gonna go into what materials we're gonna use. And I'm sorry if my desk is moving. I'm gonna get that fixed this week. But in the meantime, yes, what is in the package? What is the party favor package, right? All together. So we're gonna start off from left to right. The first thing that you're going to see is a bookmark and a pocket folder just to kind of hold that. It has multi-uses for this pocket. You can use this in further crafting. You can use it in journaling, collecting, all that type of different stuff. Or you can just use the pocket for what it came with, which is the entire book. What do you call it? A book, you know, a book, what do you call this? A bookmark. Why am I blanking? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to show you how to make this. In the future, we're going to be able to make multi forms of what you see here, but I'm just showing you with the basic 65-pound cardstock what it could look like without doing a lot of work. Okay, the second thing that it can that will come from this one solution paper is an envelope. And I really love this because it's white on the inside, and then of course, you know, it has this 3 by 3 sheet of paper. I do not have an insert with this one paper solution simply because there's multiple different ways that you can be able to, you know, really adorn this project, I don't know, in a more upscale type of way. So I'm glad there's not an insert, because this could be the thing that can, you know, how I decorate it, what's on the inside could be the thing that takes this project to the next level. And of course, there's many different ways that we can be able to navigate this envelope. And then the last but not least is the actual gift bag. So this is actually adorned with some twine, just like the bookmark. So this is all succinct in decor. And what is inside, right? Once you open up the gift bag, and there's just so many ways and variations of how you can be able to decorate this little set, and I'm really excited to show you all of that. But what's inside is just basic candy. So this makes it just a really grown and sexy kind of gift bag. And you don't have to do a lot, you know what I mean? Just all you need is a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, some twine, and the tools that I use. So let's go ahead and transition into the tools that I'm going to be using. Okay, so here are all of the tools that we will be using. Majority of these tools are memory keeper tools. So I'm just going to kind of move everything away. I just want to do a quick view for those who are just scanning through. The first thing that we use, of course, is the memory keeper cutting tool here. I love this tool simply because, you know, it just allows you to really scale beyond 12 inches if you need be. Yeah, and it just has a reloadable blade, and then I have my scoring tool here, but today we're just going to be using the blade. The second tool that we're going to be using is the gift tag punch, and that's for, you know, the gift or for the bookmark that you see. Then we have our pocket punch, and it actually looks like this in its first setting, and this is just going to make that beautiful pocket to hold the bookmark. And then we have a tag, no, this is not a tag punch. This is the envelope punch. So this allows us to make those clean, you know, just really nice standard envelope look that we need to make our envelope. Then I have this to curate that little thumb notch within the pocket that we're going to be making as well. It is completely optional. And it's, oh, let me get this back. This is a 2-inch punch tool. And then we have our gift bag punch board, and this is just really perfect simply because the bag is not going to be any more than 6 inches high. Again, I'm so sorry for the camera shaking, y'all. And then the last but not least is our scoreboard, and this will allow us, this is a We Are Memory scoreboard. This will allow us to be able to make the envelopes that we have within our set. So let's go ahead and get into the project. Okay, so we're going to start with the 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Unfortunately, this is as high as my camera goes as far as it recording in a safe distance, but it is 12 by 12, and I'm going to take my cutting tool. Again, I'm going to say this, you do not need all the tools that I have here today, so you can get the general measurements and do it handmade, but I generally like to make it with these tools simply because I am a little, crafting tool, novelist, I guess. But anyway, so the first cut that you're going to make in order for you to prepare for this gift bag is the 6 by, you're gonna cut it right at the 6 inch. So you're cutting it right in half to where you have two pieces that are 6 by 12. So now you're gonna take one of the 6 by 12 sheets of paper and you're gonna cut one of them to like basically in half. So both of them are going to be 6 by 6. One is going to be an envelope, the other one is going to be the pocket. And the last thing that we're going to cut out is the bookmark. So we're going to actually scale this to be at 10 inches, cutting off the remaining 2 inches. So it should be 2 by 6 here, and then this one is going to be 10 by 6 here. So let's close this up. Okay, so the shape should look like this, and if you're wondering what type of paper that I have, I am using the fall tapestry. I do not know how to say that part, but it is by Recollections, and it's a 65-pound paper, 12 by 12 sheets. You get 48 different designs. I love the fact that it had the foiling on this autumn collection, and it's 24 different designs. So you get 2 of every design, which is nice, and it's acid-free, so it lasts for a long time if you decide to keep it for a very long time. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to be able to make is the bookmark. It's very simple, it's very easy. All you have to do is take your punching tool, that's a tag punching tool, feed it and line it up with the 2-inch mark. Here you go. With the 2-inch mark here. And your bookmark is complete. There is multiple uses on how you can have this for your page. I don't know, to hold on to your pages, but for the most part, this is like the plain and simple bookmark. So now that we have that done, we're going to actually get into the envelope. All right, so we're taking our 6 by 6 sheet of paper and our We Are Memory School board, scoreboard. I said school board. Anywho. We're going to take our guide on making an envelope, and with this we are going to line our paper up at the 3-inch mark. Again, you can actually score this paper any kind of way that you want. I really love the squared approach with the bag simply because the bag is rectangular, so I wanted a squared off card instead of a rectangular card. But it's really up to you. I just like different dimensions and textures and things like that, and prints, and just playing around with it. So all I'm doing is scoring it at 3 inches per the instructions on the back of this card right here. And then I'm going to move it out the way. And then I'm going to take my envelope punching tool and I'm going to line it up with the, 2 cross lines here. And I'm going to punch all 4 sides. Okay, so now that all 4 sides are punched, all I need to do now is just punch out and round out the corners here. Okay, so our envelope is pretty much done. This is how much remains so far, along with the punch out for the bookmark. So you see it's very minimal waste. All you have to do here now is really set your envelope to make sure that it will fold properly and won't have any gaps. And you want to make sure that the line is really even. So if you have to kind of move it up a little bit, do your thing. You know what I'm talking about whenever you get this punching tool. And then you're going to bring this bottom flap up. I usually like to take my glue. Hopefully it didn't dry. Nope, it didn't. So I like to take my glue and just do a little bit of glue And I want to make sure I get the outsides as well, because, you know, we want it to be crispy edges. I think I went too, nope, I didn't go too far up. But anyway, so we're going to squeeze that out, all out that way. Make sure that the glue is doing its job here. And then I'm going to go ahead and close this flap over. And I'm going to take my coaster, it's a marble coaster, and I'm bringing this up and let it dry over to the side. Alright, so I have my pocket punch board here, by We Are Memory Keepers. All the information of where I received these tools are definitely down in my description. Oops, there we go. So what I do basically to make my punch tool work for me is I looked at the actual measurements at the bottom of the board, and I realized that it needs to be set at C and 2. So I line those up right there. And the first thing that I like to do is basically just cut out the side. Then I lift up, I lift up the flap here, kind of chase this score down, and then I flip the paper over, and then I just basically repeat for even results. So I'm going to do it again. Okay, so we are able to have our envelope ready to be assembled since we have both of the flaps scored. And what I basically do here is do the same thing as the envelope. I make sure that this line is even at the top, and then I just score down this way. I flip this over here, and I make sure that this is even at the top again. And I just like to do it this way. Right there, and I score that into place. Then I make sure that there are no gaps at these bottom portions of the envelope, and I just basically score and set the paper there as well. So now that the scoring is over, I make sure that I glue a light amount of glue. It doesn't have to be a lot, please, because it'll squeeze everywhere, but a light amount of glue on the edge of this paper, and I just fold it over like this. And then I do the same thing here. I just do a light amount of glue here, and then I just make sure I use my bone folder to make sure that it is you know, assembled properly. So I usually like to wait. It is shifting a lot. I usually like to wait until it's absolutely dried. But for the simple sake of this video, I want to show you that I use my 2.5 inch circle tool, and I just feed it straight through there. And I go as deep as I think is necessary. And I have now a little notch in the pocket to make it easy for the bookmark to actually go in and out of the pocket. So let's go ahead and shift gears and make the gift bag. Okay, so for the gift bag assembly, I am going to use the gift bag punch board that they have. So what I basically do is align the left side of this piece of paper and cut it first. I take the scoring tool and score the top, and I'm just really following the instructions, and then I'm doing small. And the reason why I'm doing small versus medium and large size is simply because this is a 6 by 10 inch sheet of paper, and the 10 inch is always with the small size, 11 is always with the medium size, and 12 inches is always with the large size. So because it's a 10, we're doing a small bag. I usually just like to cut a line simply straight down here. I flip the page, and then I do one down here, and simply because I don't want to see this paper, I just wanted to help this paper connect. So I make sure that that diagonal is cut at a perpendicular angle. And then I just go ahead and take my bone folder and I set, what was it? I set this box up. And I usually don't just go where I'm scoring. I make sure that the box is not only sinking right here at the top, it's like aligned. I make sure it's aligned here as well. And that's going to get you a better squared off box. Okay, so I was able to basically set this box. The best way for me, or advice I can give you in building this box, and I'm going to say this every time I make the box, is to make sure that you glue the sides of this box like all the way at the top of each corner, right here and here. And you glue it all the way up to the top. Then I would align this box at the bottom here and then align it there. So nothing is poking out. You don't want to cut off any remaining box at this point. So you want to make sure that this aligns better than anything else at the top, bottom, and it's, you know, nothing is rising outside of the box there. So now that everything is like glued down and I'm just pressing on the inside of here, I'm going to kind of flip my box and I'm going to make sure that the creasing on this box is beautiful. I'm going to crease it on the inside and the outside. And the box might come undone just a little bit. It is okay, simply because it's still wet glue, so you're really waiting for it to harden a little bit anyway. I like to take the flaps and bring them in and put a little bit of glue, and I mean a little bit, just to set the box down, the other flap. And then I come in here and I just do a little bit of glue here and I do a little bit of glue on the inside there, just in case we're missing any coverage. And there we have it. There shouldn't be any excess glue because you kind of want to be light on the glue, but enough to make sure that it should, you know, come together. I just take my glue that I have, and by the way, the glue that I'm using is the Ellie Jņe's original clear tacky glue. I just set it in there and I let it sit for literally 5 seconds. So let's go ahead and take a look at the envelope that we made earlier. It should be nice and flat and ready to go. The other thing that we have is our punch card, or punch, what do you call that? A pocket bag that we have here. And then of course we have the bookmark. And then we're waiting for our bag to dry, which is, it's okay, because by the time I finish explaining everything I have, it should be pretty much dry. So what do we use, right? So one thing that I would advise is that you would have, I would say good, this is probably like 6.5 inches of twine. This will be actually for the gift bag. As far as your bookmark, I would definitely recommend probably like 4 inches of twine. I think it's 3 or 4 inches. So anyway, how do we get the bookmark together? You basically bring the two ends together and there should be a loop. You take your bookmark, you feed it through this hole here. Now you have the loop coming up from the back of your bookmark, and all you have to do here is boom, feed those two. All I did was feed those two ends through the loop, and now you have a cute little bookmark to pass along with your friend. And then you just take it and sit it right in your holder, or a pocket holder, and now it's time for you to actually adorn your envelope. Okay, so you're probably wondering what should go in the envelope. The envelope should actually allow you to have an insert that is 3.5 by 3.5. You can go a little shorter if you want, but it's a pretty you know, it's pretty snug fit with this envelope. So what I usually like to do for a lot of inserts is use my stamps. I have a lot of them. So before I use the stamps, I'm going to round off the corners simply because it just allows there to be, you know, just a little bit of interest with this card in particular. I'm actually visualizing this little, I guess to say, this little gift that I'm making to be kind of like a thank you gift, right? So I have a thank you stamp. Uh-oh, move that out the way. I have a thank you stamp. And then I have just kind of like a cute little visual of a, let me see, it's kind of like a flower pot. So anyway, I have this hybrid ink pad, which is a pigment and dye ink. I'm gonna first, I'm gonna do it just like that. I'm going to first ink up my, floral ink. And I am just gonna stamp the top right there. I actually kind of like it. It's very simple. You know, just thanks. This could be something that they color in. I can also color in too. Well, I can color this if I want to, but I don't want to. So yeah, so I'm gonna stick this within the envelope and have it ready to be taken, I don't know, to whoever. So let's get this bag ready, you know, let's shift gears. All right, so we are ready to do our gift bag. Everything is now completely dried. All I need is my hole punch, and I have a pretty thick or large hole punch for this next project. There's creases on the side of this bag, so all you need to do is make sure that when you completely crease this bag, the alignment needs to be actually kind of straight whenever you're setting this folder. And what I basically do is I just hole punch both sides of the bag, and I make sure, oops, let me get this. I don't know why the second one is always harder than the first. Anyway, I make sure that I get through this flap as well because we want a very nice tucked look. So then I take my twine and I go in from the back to the front. And then I make sure that we do this again from the back to the front. There we go. And I make sure I even this out by pulling these two, you know, this direction. And it, as you can see, the bag flattens up here. Before we actually close the bag, let's fill it. I just have some cute little candies that I found at Michael's, and I'm showing you the back. So I'm just gonna pop these in here. This little chocolate. Who doesn't like chocolate? And it's gold, so it matches my bags perfectly. So all I do is take the twine and wrap it around itself twice. Here and here, and the second one I kind of make it light so they can easily open the bag as well. And this is just kind of what we're working with, y'all. So this actually is our completed set. I really love how this looks for this piece of paper. I'm going to actually do this set quite a few different times, so please expect it. And there's other sets out there, one paper solution sets that I have, but there's so many ways to adorn it, so why should we like just get crazy with it, right? But nonetheless, I'm just going to go ahead and revise what we got, right? We have our thank you card on the inside here. You can definitely emboss it, use all of those great card making tools on how to, you know, up the swag. But for the most part, it's a really cute standard envelope with a card insert. And then we have our gift bag with a little simple twine at the top. It's kind of shaped like a milk carton, and I just really like how small it is. And you see in my hands, it's just really adorable. It's like the perfect little size. And then the last thing that we have is our bookmark right here. On the back, you can stamp thanks or a nice little note back here as well and have some printouts. It's really up to you. But for the most part, this is where it's housed, and they can have multi-uses for this pocket. So I just think this is just the most adorable gift. Anyway, I'm Ellie Jńe, your social space curator. Please, please, please follow, subscribe, like my channel. I look forward to building a community with you guys. These are just simple tips and tools to equip you in making your community healthy. Check out my Instagram on different inspirational quotes and ways that I utilize my own products to, add that beautiful health that we need within our community. But in saying that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. But sign up with our newsletter as well as subscribing to the YouTube channel for more updates and reminders. So in saying that, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.